So his last section here in this chapter talks about what should a poor primate do, right? He says a common charge level at naturalists is that since behavior like rape and aggression aid in our survival, evolution implies that we ought to behave in these ways, right? In other words, we ought to do whatever is natural, right? So the survival of the fittest, Spencer proclaimed, is not just Mother Nature's way, but it's the way we ought to behave.
Ooh, so there's our ought, right?
Yeah, there's our ought, right? And so we smuggle it in with regard to with regard to nature. He says, of course, this has been picked up on by those who oppose naturalism. Mm-hmm. And he quotes William Lane Craig here. He says, and I'm going to go ahead and read this full quote because this is kind of interesting. If life ends at the grave, then it makes no difference whether one has lived as Stalin or as a saint. Since one's destiny is ultimately unrelated to one's savior, you may as well live as you please. On this basis, a writer like Ayn Rand is absolutely correct to praise the virtues of selfishness. Live totally for yourself. No one holds you accountable. Indeed, it would be foolish to do anything else, for life is too short to jeopardize it by acting out of anything but pure self-interest. Sacrifice for another person would be stupid.
Yeah. So, you can take this any way depending on who you're talking to. Why should we follow monogamy? Well, monogamy adds a stable relationship. They're more apt to take care of your progeny, and you share resources. Okay, well, but why should I be promiscuous? Well, then you spread more of your seed around, and you have more people to take care of your progeny. If one dies, it's not like you're taking the one. If your concubine is unable to bear children for you, then you have other options. So again, it's about storytelling. It's about which one do you believe, and you can take it. And it seems to be whatever the case of what the current morality is, we look back and read into it. So when people were wanting to be promiscuous, sex and free love, that was a claim that they could make. Well, it's just a product of our evolution. That's what our animal ancestors did. That's what you see in apes. In fact, apes go around and they kill the young from the males that they took over and kicked out of the tribe. So we should do that too.
Yeah, animal ethics.
Yeah.
Why not? That's part of nature.
Right.
And so he points out the problem here, right? He says, I don't see, at least not simply by virtue of the fact that selfish acts gives us reproductive advantage here. Nature means neither good nor ought.
Right.
Many natural things are quite bad, as Denner points out. Right. It's equally natural to die young and illiterate without benefit of eyeglasses for myopia or medicine for illness. Naturalness alone isn't an indicator of what we ought to value. Right. That's the issue. Why value that? It's not an indicator. The other issue he makes with this is that, notice, nothing, however, in evolution says that you ought to value your own survival above everything else. Right? It doesn't say that. It says that's what we do, but it doesn't say we ought to do it. There is no morals with regard to that, right? He says you can derive meaning, purpose, or ethics from evolution. Can you? How can you? He quotes Jerry Cohen here. You can't. Cohen says. Evolution is simply a theory about the process and patterns of life's diversification, not a grand philosophical scheme about the meaning of life. It can't tell us what to do or how we should behave.
Right.